All right, everybody, welcome back to October 5th episode of Top Tier Podcast. My name is Pale El Poppy. We got a chosen one here. Listen, guys, I'm going in on the coons today. I'm channeling some Umar today because we got to check the coon. I got a coon analysis and a coon screening. We got to evaluate coon chips today because Kanye's is malfunctioning again, or maybe he's working as.
I think it's working as proper.
He's working as intended.
Oh my god!
I'm so tired of Kanye. I thought every time I think he's like turning a corner, he goes right back to cooning, and I forget.
Of
like,
course,
a coon is a coon, dude. Like,
I mean, he really is out here like disguising himself, but this nigga is taking off that mask every once in a while. He'll take out that mask and be like tap dancing, like every once in a while. This nigga over here, a Bonafide Sambo.
A Bonafide Sambo. He pisses me off, bro, and he's trolling too. He's like, yeah, I'm a coon, and I'm with Candace. What are you niggas gonna do about it? Like, that's his mentality.
He trolls in the most strategic, just the most petty way. You can tell he has a lot of practice at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what this man did this week, I'm sure we all are aware. What this man did this week is Paris Fashion Week. You know, it's a big week for the fashion industry. Everybody loves fucking Paris, right? So this nigga Kanye showed up for his season 9 premiere show, runway show,
mm-hmm.
and he brought in Candace Owens, and they weren't the only ones that were wearing it, but they had on White Lives Matter
shirts.
They had some White Lives Matter t-shirts on. Not just them. I mentioned it wasn't just them. It was also some of the models that had to take pictures in it.
Mm-hmm.
And be caught wearing that shit made me sick. That shit made me like just physically nauseous thinking about having that actually for the check, just for the check.
And when I saw it, man, when I saw it first, I was like, because it came in waves for me. It's so hot in here. I'm trying to move my fan, but yeah,
it's hot in here too.
It came in waves for me, where it was like I was at work, I had a break, I looked at my phone during lunch, and all I see is like Kanye is like, oh, White Lives Mattering. It was just like a whole bunch of people wearing a shirt. Then it was him wearing the shirt, and then by the time I got off work, I looked at it again, and he's flexing with Candace Owens, the coonstress herself. He's flexing with Candace Owens, and I'm like, this dude Kanye is back flexing on the mark. He's all the way back on the coon. I mean, he's flexing the coonery. Like, yeah, I'm a coon, and you still gonna buy my products, silly Negroes.
Mm-hmm. Silly Negroes, Yeezy is for kids. Silly Negroes, Yeezy is for coons. You know, people have come up with a couple of different ways to identify what Kanye's situation is, why every so often, maybe it's like every 3 or 4 years, Kanye will just come out of the woodworks with something crazy like this. Slavery was a choice, MAGA hat, you know, things like that. He's always been kind of involved in politics, but on the right side of politics, not until recently. People have come up with a few different ways of categorizing it and saying what his justification for it is. What do you think it is?
He's a narcissist looking for attention, and I think he just likes attention from white folks. I don't know. The biggest thing is like he wants to feel part of something. Yeah.
No, that's it. That's what I think. That has to be it, right?
Yeah, he's a narcissist.
Because who else is he going after?
He loves attention, and I know a narcissist. I'm not going to name names, but I know someone very well, a family member. So I see all of it. Like, what confirmed it for me was during the whole original Donda album release. He dragged that out for weeks. He had little mini concerts for it. He booked the stadium. He wanted to just constantly milk the news cycle. And so they just got tired of him. And then he was like, all right, I'll drop the album.
Why does he use, and he's not the only one that does it. So the reason why he does it is because it's beneficial and it's a proven method. That's not what I'm talking about. But my question is, why does he use the white valid? Like, why do you think, we already know why he uses it, like the reason for why he uses it, but why does he use white validation? Why does he strive to gain that?
He's a man of means. He can build wherever he wants to build, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing there's a lot of black folks like him who feel like white man's ice is colder.
But let me
Whatever
stop
he
you there
does is
because
not
I'm not
enough.
sure if it's just, and I mean, obviously we know that there's a dichotomy there, but I don't think, because I think that there's other people outside of the black community that do the same thing that aren't aligned politically. They probably wouldn't identify in and of themselves as leaning towards the right side of politics, but they pander to that side in order for fandom, in order for a come up, in order for a check. What is it about that side that has people leaning that direction for clout?
Well, I don't know. For Candace, it's definitely money. You can just look in her background and see that it's for money. Kanye, I don't know what it is, man. He's a very talented guy. He's a coon, though, so I'm done supporting him. I shouldn't have been I've never really, other than casually listened to his music, I guess I did supporting him, but
Yeah,
I
guess.
never. As soon as he started cooning, I really wasn't on no type of Kanye support. It's just amusing to talk about him, but he's just, I don't know what it is with Kanye because he has his own money. He has his own resources. He has access to capital, all the things he needs to do to build his own all black everything, but he won't do it. He loves the validation. It's just the validation.
You think you sincerely think it's just the validation? You don't think he has any type of agenda in the background of him trying to set something up?
I don't think so. Well,
trying to
maybe
make a certain type of move.
He might be trying to work on a certain type of crowd. Maybe he decided he wants to get on that right wing MAGA crowd, and he just says it's easy. All you got to do is just be like a little Negro, like a little Sambo.
Because he's not the only person that does it.
Be like Herschel Walker. All you got to do is walk around. Yeah, Negroes don't want to work hard, and yeah, the white man is superior, and you know all the little Sambo talking points, and you have a whole army of crazy racists supporting you. So
it's just really too bad, and
it.
it's really disconcerting, dude. Like, Kanye West is an icon, but he can't be a role model.
No, and I honestly think until the black community deals with coons like him, meaning not financially not supporting him, blackballing him on every level, we're not going to advance to places we need to because every other group handles their coons. Every other group handles their coons. You can say they don't, but every other group handles their coons.
And can we just work off precedent just alone? Like if you give more value than you take up, then we can fuck with you. But this man he makes music that's subpar compared to his stuff of old, and he makes clothes that, and maybe people like the shoes, but he makes a lot of product that's just not that great. Like, we're really gonna stick next to this dude who's making so product for like what, the last like 10 years?
It's just off his name too. It's just off his name. And didn't you say that one of our friends who did research said he's not even designing it? He's just putting his name on it?
With the shoes, yeah. He's not a real designer. He's not a real designer. But I mean, like with this year, like, did you look at this the Yeezy season 9 shit?
Other
You
than
look
that
at the lookbook?
Is that, I'm assuming the shirt's part of that, right?
The shirt?
Or is that has nothing to do with Yeezy?
It could be, yeah, probably. It probably is. Yeah, I mean, like the shit is that it's not that nice. Like, he's not that nice. Like, Kanye West is, I probably say it a little too often, but he is cut straight up out of the Donald Trump cloth. Mm-hmm. They're one and the same.
They're literally one and the same. Like, they're both narcissists seeking attention, and they just put their name.
Who
on
do very little things of value.
Mm-hmm. And he's
but they know how to talk it up.
No, they know how to talk it up, and Kanye's like. To be honest with you, like at this point, Kanye is a washed up crazy man living off his old hype. At this point,
this dude came out with Jedi boots, like people.
Dexter's Laboratory cartoon boots.
Legitimately, people go and look up Yeezy season 9, or pretty much any season. His clothing, his product is not very good. I wonder if he. Like, as of recently, and I don't know when exactly it began, but recently I've been trying to study Mr. West. And I've been accomplishing it. And I'm starting to figure out that this man is, and I'm late to it. I probably am super late to it. But this man is a lot of talk.
I mean,
and no bite.
No bite. He's a Sambo. And we should just stop talking about him. People are not going to listen, though. Like, a lot of black folks are so hyper consumer they don't care. They're past the point of caring about this guy.
And see, that's why I love our generation so much. Jaden Smith was at the show in the beginning, and as soon as he saw Kanye West walk in with that shirt on, and probably like some of the other models, and maybe he saw Candace Owens, he straight up dipped.
Mm-hmm.
Got the fuck out of there. And the reason why I said I love our generation is because we're so aware, uber aware of just like things that are ethical, you know?
Yeah.
And that sounds crazy. That might sound a little crazy to say that people are just more aware of ethics. But we all know that as time goes on, we become more progressive. We have more of a valuable understanding of things that should be like proper etiquette, you know, what's polite, political correctness, things like that, whatever. But our generation, we're nailing it. We're right there.
I don't know about that, dog.
You shake your head? Like, why?
Because there's plenty of little right-wing little fucks
Well, of course.
who are our age running around.
Of course. But, I mean, you're not going to have 100% everybody is on the right side of
And
history.
you got little liberal racists, too. So, you know. But I get what you're saying, though. There is a very vocal portion of our generation that they're on it. That's for sure. I think more so than other generations, for sure.
I'd like to applaud our generation, honestly.
Even
I think that we're making moves.
I was talking with a friend about how he was saying a lot of millennials making jokes. It's a little side tangent, making jokes about the Dahmer movie. They're making all these Dahmer memes. He said it's not Gen Z, it's millennials. You know, Gen Zs are making jokes, but it's mostly the millennials. So why do you think that is? Because they were alive during his reign, probably. It's not his reign, but when he was
his reign. He was just a
reign of
terror.
terror.
When was he?
90s.
The 90s?
Well, 90s is when he got caught, like early 90s. So that's when they knew about him. Like that's when he got famous. Is like when he got caught.
Okay. What was the question? I think you sprinkled a question in there somewhere.
You know, I was just talking like, you know, so maybe we aren't as dark. I guess the point I wanted to talk is maybe we're not as bad as maybe some of these millennials out here. Maybe we are overall maybe a little bit better. We can be pretty bad though, eating Tide Pods and shit. But you know,
I'm just talking in terms of just like ethics and overall, like morale might not be that good because we are a very depressed generation. Unfortunately, we struggle with mental health.
and
But it
make
seems
jokes
like
make jokes about death and suicide all the time. It's normal.
Yeah, it seems like we struggle a little bit more mentally. But
Well,
in
we
terms
live
of
in a fucked society, man. Capitalism and wealth gap, like
yeah,
there's nothing.
we have gained a little
climate
bit.
change. What is there to be happy about, really?
Yeah, that is true. But just in terms of just the way we see humanity overall, I think is a bit more astute. I think we're more connected. And it's not like spiritual shit or energetic shit. It's nothing like that. It's just like, I just think it happens over time. Like imagine what the first generation to be like, hey, this animal has rights, you know?
We still are not on that. So
I think our generation, I'm serious. Like I think our generation is making, like globally, I think
all you
our
gotta
generation.
do is look at the meat slaughterhouses videos on YouTube, and you know we not on that.
But just the idea is there floating. The concept, it stands for something. It feels like this generation stands for something. It feels like what that is more awareness of just, hey, people are people. Like we should treat everything, and not just people. Like we should just be more conscientious of everything. Like people are talking about not just animals having rights, but like trees having rights and things like that. You know,
That's where I'm kind of now. I got tree hugger shit. I don't know about that, but
our generation is, man, we're holding it down. And people want to say it's soft and shit like that. It's emotional. It's politically correct. Like, why are all those things negatives?
yeah, the political correctness thing never made sense to me because they're just like, well, you won't let me call you a nigger to your face, so you're just PC. You're stopping me from letting you know exactly how I feel about you. That's how. Whenever people criticize PC, I always think you just want to be able to call people slurs and not lose your job over it.
Our generation is all about fucking accountability, dog. That's what it is. I just thought of that. We're all about accountability. We're going to hold everybody accountable. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are.